All right, boom. We are back. Episode 113. This is a show about nothing, radio show about nothing, podcast about nothing. And we are back. No, I'm not in the same fit. We'll explain later. But to my left, of course, co-host, co-creator, co-owner, co-producer, co-everything, Drock in the building.
What's happening? It feels good to be back, man. It's been a long little break. Well, actually, it hasn't. So we should let him in now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, y'all. So we're recording 2 episodes in the same day. We work hard.
Yeah,
I want y'all to know it's 11 o'clock. We work hard.
Listen, y'all want it. Y'all got it.
You feel me? So this is episode 113. We just recorded episode 112. It is out now. Please go listen to that. It is with Nico the GOAT, a up-and-coming rapper in Atlanta. He is one of the best rappers in Atlanta. I'm not joking. Please go listen to that and then go listen to his album, Everything in Due Time, Nico the GOAT on Apple Music. So that is why Ish is in the same outfit and I got on the same pants. Luckily, we was at my house, so I got to go change shirts. I'm sorry, Ish. That was selfish.
Okay.
I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, hold on. I damn near could take the hoodie off. I do have a fucking Outcast shirt on.
That has happened, but we are back. You see our energy high up 2 minutes in. You see we've been talking for a minute. So we just wanted to get on here, talk about some hoops. We know the playoffs is starting. We actually also, with the shorts about something, you're going to notice on, hopefully, if everything goes well, on Monday, you're going to see a short about something drop. You're going to be like, why is them niggas not in the same room? It's because we leveling up again, baby. Yep. So you'll see some Zoom podcasts, some live reactions. I don't even know if we haven't talked about it, but I don't even know if we'll, like, Steph go for 60 and we talk about it for 12 minutes. I don't know if we'll really label it anything, but you'll see a bunch more stuff on our YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, all of that. So just please keep subscribing. Please keep following. I'm going to stop rambling, and we're going to get into this basketball.
Before we do, I want to shout out somebody who's on our Wall of Fame, Dwight Howard to my right. First ballot Hall of Famer. Yes, sir. Atlanta's own Dwight Howard, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes, sir. And now, since he didn't do it, because he a hater, shout out to Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, Melo. We don't got the Melo jersey.
I'm playing. We got the Kobe Western Conference Finals jersey.
This is 09.
You feel me? But shout out to Melo, shout out to Dwight Howard, some guys we grew up on, some guys we love. I remember being like, watching, what is that, the NBA roundtable they used to do with all the legends on NBA TV, and they would have the discussions.
I can't believe, Open Court,
yeah.
Open Court.
And they would be, great name by the way, they would be like, yo, who's going to be the best player in the next 5 years? Yeah. And everybody was like, Dwight Howard. Crazy how Steph Curry ruined that shit.
Yo,
just ruined that shit.
Stop that shit. What's crazy is 5 years after 2010 is 2015. Like, Steph Curry, like, in that short time period, everything is different.
Everything is different. But shout out to the legends, everyone else that was inducted into the Hall of Fame. We'll provide that list a little bit later. But first off, let's start with some positives before we get into that John Morant and yell at everybody.
Yeah.
The Lakers just played. They just beat the Mavs. Luka had 45 in his return to Dallas.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were just recording, so we only saw the first 3 quarters. But he was cooking so hard, I knew what it was when I was watching it. How are you feeling about Luka, the Lakers? Yeah. And do you think this Dallas game in Dallas gets that, like, monkey off his back and he feels like kind of free after this?
Yeah, I think because, like you mentioned, we were recording, but I did get to see the tribute video and, more importantly, his reaction to the tribute video. Mm-hmm. And I don't think the monkey's off his back, but I think this was a big step he needed to take. Okay. Because watching him on courtside where he could barely watch that tribute video, you can tell he is not okay. And of course, he's still Luka. He's top 3-5 player in the world. He's going to be fine. He's going to be an all-time Lakers great if he stays there. But you could tell emotionally this hurt him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Luka being from another country, moving all the way to Dallas, becoming a man in another state, in another country. Mm-hmm. Dallas really accepted him as their own. And for him to be, and the fan base, really, they both were ripped from that with no warning. I think it's been a shell shock just for the whole sports world, really.
For sure.
And I think that is what you're going to see. But him going for 31 in that first half, it did feel like an exercise in, like, you got to get through this breakup.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell he's really sad, but it's hurt in there too.
She left you, bro.
Yeah.
She just left, bro. It's
yeah.
okay.
And it's like she left, cheated on you with your mans type shit. Like it really, like you can tell it's not just, oh man, I miss Dallas. Like he's mad at that nigga.
Yes, he's mad. He's angry. I agree with you. I do believe this helps with the monkey off of his back because, like I said, Luka has been missing shots. He just hasn't usually missed. He's been inconsistent when his brand is consistency. Since he's been on the Lakers, it might have went up the past 2 games, but the last time I checked last week, he was shooting 41% as a Laker. Like, that's just not Luka. That being said, this game in Dallas, hearing the cheers, seeing the tribute video, seeing his old teammates when it's not a week after the trade, seeing familiar faces, his parents were there and everything. So this will help him in what's the word I'm looking for? The realness of this situation, for lack of a better term, is just, it will help, there it is, settle down. It'll help him settle into LA, settle into being a Laker, and this is a perfect time as we are a weekend away from the playoffs.
They clinched a playoff spot for that. And I think it was poetic in a way, like, this is the beginning of closure.
Yes.
This is the beginning of, okay, I am really not a Dallas Maverick.
Yes.
And I think you could tell his reaction to the trade since, and just on the floor, like him really not being able to watch the video, you can tell he was never going to leave.
Never.
He was like, this was not something he thought could happen to him. But, you know, of course, listen, anything's possible. Anything's possible. And I think moving forward, I think this is going to be looked at so crazy. And I wanted to pose this to you just because we wanted to do a couple things here. And I thought it was interesting just when I was on the way here. Because Luka does have a player option. Like how deep does the hurt go where he opts out and is like, hey, y'all fire Nico, I'll come back and I'll play with AD. Like if you were Luka really, like if you were Luka for real, how hurt, like, you know what? No, I do want to play for the Mavericks, Nico. Like, I actually will play for Dallas.
All right, so I have 2 answers. One is the answer to your question, and then one is a question to your question. So the answer to your question is, you said you want to play here? Yeah. For real? Sherry, can you tell Nico to come in here? Yeah. Hey, not you, Siri. Hey, Nico, Luka said he want to come back. He gonna take a discount too. So pack your bag.
No, that's
sir.
the thing. Because Nico traded him, it's already on a discount because he can't get the Supermax anymore.
Shit.
So hey, Nico, because you traded him.
Sayonara, sayonara. What you talking about? Get your ass up. Luka want to come back, and I got 35-year-old hungry AD ain't won a championship.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
But you best believe it.
Yeah.
But now if you're under the guise that the owner made this decision,
Yeah.
and this was a ploy, there's a story going around the deep web of she wanted a casino when they sold the team.
Yeah,
she
so
was supposed to get a casino. So this was her temper tantrum. It was like, trade him, I'll ruin everything so she can move to Vegas. Now that seems very crazy.
Yeah.
But billionaires are crazy.
Yeah.
So,
and you watch what's the business show you watch?
Succession.
Yeah, I thought it was Succession. You watch Succession? Listen, one thing billionaires don't like to do is lose.
Come on now.
Them niggas
Come
hate
on now.
to lose.
Come on now.
What you mean? What you mean I'm not getting a casino? Like, what do you mean?
You in fucking Aruba on a yacht, mad as fuck about this little ass casino that ain't gonna make you no money to 2035.
Yeah, like that shit. Man, I don't know what the next step is for Luka, but I just wanted to. I thought it was an interesting brain exercise where it was like, all right, Kyrie opts out, he goes to the Lakers. Luka opts out, he goes to the Mavs. And it all worked out.
It all worked out. Shout out to Wayne. But speaking of anything's possible, no one is safe.
Yeah.
Mike Malone.
Listen, that news hit my phone like a nuke.
Bro. So it's funny because you know me. You've been my friend for a very long time. You know I'm one of the most dramatic people you will ever meet. Yeah. Very calm, but when it's time to be lively, I get dramatic. Yeah. Me and Taylor were in the living room having a conversation. She was talking. I was like, shut the fuck up. She was like, what? I said, I'm sorry, it's sports shit. I'm just looking at my phone. I'm like, and then I went to Twitter and I sent it to every single group chat with the same 7 question marks. Like, what the fuck is going on, bruh? So, your thoughts.
Funny. Yo, listen. My initial thoughts, listen, so because we've been so funny at the beginning, I'm going to start getting some hater shit real quick. My first thought was, Russ cooked somebody else? Russ got another one gone? Oh my God, Russ. How many coaches is Russ going to retire before it is all said and done? And then, my little next thought was, well, let me put it into context. Because you sent the coach firing thing, so I got on Twitter, and then they fired the GM like 5 minutes after. It's kind of like they staggered him, so it was like, we're going to fire this nigga and the GM. And I was like, GM? I was like, are they cleaning house? Are they cleaning house?
Yes, they are.
And then, we've mentioned nobody safe. Listen, if you are in the NBA and are a basketball player, do not make no long-term financial or real estate plans until we find out if Jokic is getting traded.
Yes, sir.
Because if Jokic is getting traded, you may be, listen, your kids may be going to a school in Denver.
Yeah, I feel
if the right person call.
Yeah, I feel
And I think that was my first reaction, was like, man, first I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely not winning MVP. You can't win MVP. Get your coach fired.
Nope.
And they blew it up a week left from the playoffs.
All right, so NBA Insider Bag, that's our bag. That's what we do. So let me let you in. If you're wondering what we're talking about, we've vaguely said Mike Malone, the coach of the Denver Nuggets, got fired. He won a championship 2 years ago. He has the highest win percentage in Nuggets history, and I believe he's top 3 in wins in Nuggets history. So obviously one of the best coaches that the Nuggets have ever had. Also, some more insight. This ownership group that owns the Nuggets also owns the Colorado Rockies. They own a team out in Arsenal as well. I'm not out in Arsenal. They own a soccer team called Arsenal. Yeah. And they just don't fire coaches. It's not something they do in their long history. They have not fired coaches. The LA Rams, I believe, is the other.
Yeah, Stan Kroenke.
Yes,
yeah, Kroenke.
They own all of that. So they don't fire coaches. They value the coach. They value the camaraderie and the continuity with having the same coach in the building. So we know this wasn't one of those David Tepper decisions.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Just some rage. No, yeah.
What I heard, what I've been listening, reading, and watching is that the GM and Mike Malone were not speaking.
Yeah, they not talking.
And they have not spoke for 6 months. Yeah. So it seemed like from what we were hearing is that there was tension in the building, and the tension could break glass. Yeah. So it was, tension could break a rock. That would make more sense, right? Because it was so sharp.
You can cut the tension in the air.
You can cut the tension in the air. Yeah. Okay. but when you look at it from that perspective, because sidebar, Jokic loves Mike Malone. This came out, this was a thing that the insiders have confirmed, like Jokic really liked Mike Malone. But he's old school. He's, yo, shut the fuck up and listen. Yo, you gonna do it like this. Yo, you suck. This is terrible. What are you doing? What are you watching? You saw the speech that came out 2 weeks ago where he was like, my players, I gotta show them the film because they ain't gonna watch film on their own and all of that.
Sent Bones Highlands to the fucking Pro-Am league.
You feel me? Like, since his ass to the little Clemens gym.
Yes, sent that nigga to the Drew League.
Boys and Girls Club league shit. But so when you look at all of those factors, I'm looking at them like, so they're the, your Lakers, Cavs West.
Yep, Cavs West.
Bucks West?
Bucks West. Oh my God.
Win a championship?
Yep.
Lose the next year as you should, in a way you shouldn't.
Yep.
Fire your coach mid-season. Figure it out from there.
Yep.
So now I'm looking at, well, you have no GM, you have no coach, and the playoffs start next Friday.
Yeah.
What are their playoff chances?
Yeah, Jokic has to coach. Jokic is going to coach. That's what Jokic has to coach. Jokic will fill out the roster for the playoffs probably. He's going to make the final decision.
Jokic's brother is taking stats?
Yeah, that's what I got. This will be an all Jokic operation. But as far as success chance in the playoffs, none. 0. -5. There is not a playoff. In the West, there is not a playoff series I would expect them to win. I'm not even sure I would expect them to compete in any playoff series just because Jamal Murray's still going to be hurt. This team, top to bottom, obviously there is dysfunction that even, like of course they had lost 4 in a row for context, but, like, you play in the Western Conference, your second best player is hurt. Like, I think it was more surprising you fired your coach mid-season than you lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
So I think they are headed for a hard reset, and like I like what you said about them being Bucks West is it's like, all right, who is the 36-year-old point guard we're gonna overpay to be our sidekick for Jokic? Like, Dame is obviously still in Milwaukee, but, like, who is gonna be the Dame for Jokic to keep him here?
Chris Paul. 41-year-old Chris Paul.
That's crazy.
If the Warriors didn't make that trade for Jimmy, shit, there'll be some crazy rumors going on right now if they make that trade.
Listen, I don't want to beat up on Mavs fans one more time, but listen, if Luka was still in Dallas right now,
What? I am out on the playoff chances.
Yeah.
That conversation can be short and sweet, like Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
I am out on the playoff chances. Yeah. They could beat the Rockets because Jokic is so good, and they could beat Memphis. Every other team, Timberwolves, Clippers, Warriors, Lakers, OKC, they're losing to. You can't fire your coach and then win 2-3 playoff series.
Right.
So that got me thinking, like, all right, why didn't you at least try to win it this year? And that got me thinking, well, if they get to the Western Conference Finals and get to a Game 7,
you can't fire him.
Now you can fire him.
Yeah.
Do you think that played a part
into
why this decision came?
1,000% agree with you that is kind of the reason for the timing. Kind of like what we said earlier about billionaires don't like to lose. Mike Malone knows if he gets to the finals, you can't fire him.
You can't do shit.
But that's the thing about being a billionaire. There are no rules. So I just fire you mid-fucking season. And you don't get a chance to get
You keep saying mid-season. This is the end of the season. It's not February.
This is like 90% left.
They have 3 games left.
The Rockets are resting their players right now. It's like you would never see an NFL team headed to the playoffs and it's week 16 and they fire their coach. Yeah.
Sean McVay has been fired from the Rams week 16. They 10-6 clinch the playoff spot.
Like what? It would be like Sean McDermott getting fired last year, right?
Yeah.
Like MVP candidate as my best player. Like, and that's
maybe
why
John Harbaugh should. No.
Hey, listen. Hey, mate, listen. The Cronkies know what they're doing, man. That's a sharp ownership group right there. But I think for Denver fans, listen, buckle up. It's going to be a tough one.
Oh yeah.
It's honeymoon period is over. I love this as a person whose teams were bad for like 5-6 years after being good. Like the new niggas who be like, I'm a Denver Nuggets fan. Like, boy, don't you just hold on, kid. I follow the Mavs fans, right? I don't want to kick y'all down. Them niggas so sad. That shit crazy.
That shit's terrifying. They in the audience crying and shit watching the tribute video. Like,
yo, the t-shirts say thank you for everything. Like, this is gonna be the last game. Like, this is gonna be the last Dallas Mavericks game ever. It's like
this cold blast game.
Yeah,
thank you for it all.
Once this game's over, nobody's playing. Ever again.
No, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Last question on Mike Malone, and which it really is more so about Jokic, is how does this turmoil within the Nuggets organization affect Jokic's legacy? Because Jokic right now is a top 25 player, no doubt. But what he is capable of doing is top 10, top 7 territory. Facts. How does this hinder that?
I think, listen, I'll say this. I'm going to give him a little grace on this. I'm going to give him a little mulligan because historically, he's kind of kept it light. Because a lot of the older greats, like Magic got a couple coaches canned. LeBron, listen, my king dissing a lot of coaches.
David Blatt was
I
don't even know where
finals.
He at.
He went back to Europe. He was like,
That's what they told you. Shit.
No, they threw him in the clutch van after the finals, and he was never seen again. But listen, Kobe demanded a trade. Phil left. Phil wrote a book about Kobe. Like, listen, I'm going to give him some grace because this is the only first coach. But what they're saying about what was going on in the locker room, I think is going to hinder him a little more.
Okay.
About first, Jokic being frustrated with the level of Nuggets defense. Tell me me laugh.
Dude.
King Von says, put the gun down.
Dude.
And second, because of that level of defense, people being mad that you're not going to hold Jokic to that same standard. Now, while I understand the concept of coaching everyone the same, in practice, I would never speak to one of you niggas the way I would speak to Jokic. What am I like, even if I yell at him, you think he don't know what he just did? Like that was a choice. Like,
do you know he's smarter than me?
Yeah, like what am I gonna say to him? Like, Jokic, that was bad defense. Yes. Like, yes, it was.
I had 30 points.
Yeah, like, listen, he's touched the ball every play for the last 2 years on this team. Like, yeah, he's not chasing everyone around the ball screen. Like, that's my thing. That's why I think, listen, I hope wherever Mike Malone goes next, he is supported, because we need coaches like that to remind you niggas, y'all are not all-stars.
You know where he need to go?
Where?
Charlotte. Now, Charlotte got a black coach.
That would be beautiful.
Charlotte got a black coach, so we're going to stick with our boy.
No, they need him to come by and speak there a little bit.
You know,
come to training camp.
Just a motherfucker. Yeah. What is this?
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all doing in here? Like, one of them.
Listen, Melo might get that nigga a heart attack.
Melo gonna come in hot pink shoes and shit. Oh my God.
Listen, he gonna call the play. Melo gonna wave it off 1 foot leg, 1 leg 3. That nigga heart might stop at the game.
Lonzo. Yeah. He calling out his brother name instead of calling me Lonzo.
Yo, I think that's the funniest thing about Mike. Like, all the stories about, like, yeah, Mike Malone was like an agitated guy. Like, yeah, that's how coaches supposed to. Like, I grew up on coaches that were all Mike Malones. Like, y'all niggas wearing them fucking, you know what? And you know what? This is a little just shot at Mike Malone, because I mean, his life is still gonna be fine. Like, he's super rich. He's Mike Malone.
He's perfect fine.
He's super good. Like,
he got $10 million in Denver.
Yeah, like, put a suit on, buddy. Take that fucking tracksuit off, nigga. All you niggas take them tracksuits off. Like, I can't stand that. Maybe that's why niggas ain't want to hear, like, you screaming up and down and yelling. Yo, get back on defense. You're in a Nike tech. Like, you get on the court, nigga. Like,
I will say, as a guy that wears sweatpants every day, I completely understand the premise of the sweat jacket on the sideline with some slacks. I love it, actually, for the coaches. But I think a caveat should be made where throughout the playoffs, you have to wear a suit.
Right.
And Christmas Day, opening day.
Big events,
and the in-season tournament, you should have to wear a suit. Yeah. I just think the NBA does a poor job. We talk about this all the time, but the NBA does a poor job of making moments feel like they're big. Yeah. The Super Bowl feels like the biggest shit, the most important shit. Like I told you, they had Super Bowl coverage from 11 to 6 nonstop.
Bro, like
nonstop. So the NBA doesn't do that. I feel like if you would just make it in the playoffs, no colored jerseys on. That sounded crazy, but no colored jerseys on the home team. Yeah. It's all white on the home and away classic. Yeah. And if you don't want to do that for the whole playoffs, for the finals, it's classic jerseys, home and away, coaches in suits, championship, a trophy on the court, stuff like that. I just feel like it would make the NBA feel different.
Like, we talk about the NFL halftime because they have a halftime show, but the Super Bowl halftime is like 40 minutes. Like, that's not like a regular NFL game. No, it's not, because it's not a regular NFL game.
Exactly.
Yeah, 1,000%.
All right. So let's go into the Wild West, man. Yeah. We have seeds 3 through 8 are now up for grabs. The Rockets have clinched the 2 seed.
Yep.
So when I'm looking at it, very, very interesting what's about to happen. The Lakers win tonight, pretty much locks them up in the 3 seed.
Right.
So let's just say the Lakers stay 1, 2, 3. OKC, Houston, Lakers.
Right.
Side note: shout out to Ime Udoka, because they should not be the 2 seed. That's an excellent. That's an excellent basketball coach. Excellent basketball coach. 4 seed right now is the Warriors. Actually, no, it's Denver right now. So
Minnesota, right?
It's Denver at 4.
Yeah.
Warriors at 5. Clippers at 6. Grizzlies at 7 and Minnesota at 8 because they lost last night.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think these teams are the teams in the playoffs? Like, do you think the play-in teams win, or you think the Clippers and Timberwolves stay at 7 and 8?
I think the top 8 teams will stay as the seeds once we get to the playoffs. And we're talking a little bit of prediction here. I think this is probably the most open West since maybe 2022, where 1 through 8, genuinely, I could see making a run through the Western Conference playoffs just because how deep it is. Seriously, like the East and West thing is tradition, so I understand the need for it and why it's a thing every year. But the amount of talent that is in the West right now is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
So I definitely think those teams are going to hang on. What do you think first round wise is going to jump off the page as like the biggest first round story? Like, do you think it's going to be that 4-5 matchup, whoever it's going to be, or is it going to be like 3-6, where usually the 3-6 is like, all right, that's somewhat of a bad team, and this one's like a pretty good team. It's like a twisted ankle between you being the 3 seed and the 6 seed.
Yes.
Like, you don't have a huge advantage over the team you're playing. So.
You're seriously telling the truth, because the difference between the Warriors and the Nuggets right now is Steph Curry missing 2 games 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
That's only he played both of them games. They played the Hawks and the Heat. Yep. They would have won in 2 games. They would be the 3rd or 4th seed right now. Like, so yes, but the biggest story that's going to come out from that is Steph beats Jokic again.
Yeah.
The second biggest story is, damn, is no way the team in the Western Conference Finals just upset the 1 seed. And I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves upset OKC in the first round.
You think so?
That's the biggest story.
Oh, poor Shea. I don't want that for Shea.
That's the biggest story.
Reggie, don't watch that part.
I don't want it for Shea. Yeah. Shea's one of my favorite players. Yeah. What I think about OKC is they don't have it. You know when I know it is, and I tell you, I know, bro.
Yeah.
They don't got it.
Yeah.
No chance they get to the finals. The Lakers or Warriors are going to the finals. Sleeper team is the Clippers, but more than likely Lakers or Warriors.
Okay.
I don't trust OKC because I don't see it in Jalen Williams.
That's so fair. So fair. It's not.
I know what it looks like.
It's not in him.
It's not in him.
It's not. It's
just not in him.
Yeah.
And that's okay. He's going to average 17 to 22 points a game for the rest of his life, and he's going to make enough money to feed 7 generations.
Facts.
But he's not the dog you need as your number 2.
Right.
The only way we see OKC advance to the Western Conference Finals, as people are saying they will,
it's got to be Chet.
It's Chet.
Only
way. So those are the 2 biggest stories.
Okay.
Damn, Steph beats Jokic again?
Yeah.
And the biggest story is, oh, shit, the number 1 seed got upset after a 67-win season?
Yeah. I love it. I think my X Factor team to watch, my X Factor team is going to be...
you funny boy.
My X Factor team is going to be the Houston Rockets for sure.
Really?
I think the Houston Rockets could go to and win the NBA Finals. I genuinely believe that.
Wow.
I think the Rockets roster-wise is quiet as kept. 1 through 8, I don't know if it's a lot of 1 through 8s. The thing with the Rockets that holds me back is that 1. And that's why it's so interesting. It's like, do I think Jalen Green is a superstar? Not close. Do I think Jalen Green is within a rock's throw of Steph Curry in the playoff series? No. But do I think Thompson is maybe the best defender in the league right now, not named Draymond Green? Possibly. And not only that, like you said, they're coached great. They have veterans, and they are a deep playoff team. They have people that, like Fred VanVleet, as a champion, is going to come off the bench. Ime Udoka has experience. Jalen Brooks has playoff experience. I think the Rockets are built to counter a lot of teams. And that's really what I wanted to get into because, like, the Lakers-Warriors game, we'll talk about that now. Like, Lakers fans it was a new experience watching Steph fry them. It's like, oh, yeah, we don't have AD no more. Like, oh, man. It's like, yeah, NBA is all about matchups. Mm-hmm. And I think the Rockets with Thompson, with Jabari, with, like, being so athletic and being so big across the board, I think they can match up with OKC. I think of all the teams in the West, I think they would have the best chance against the Warriors. I think it's very few teams that just match up well with them. Like, if you think, what's another Western team that I think could beat the Warriors?
Memphis, Denver, Lakers.
I think like the Lakers could, like, if you think the Lakers beat the Warriors, it's because you think LeBron and Luka are going to be play the best series possible on the court. The Rockets, the only reason their chances schematically, we stand the best chance against what they're doing.
Okay.
We don't have to just overpower Steph's greatness. Like, they just match up better. That's what I think.
All right. That's funny you say that because my third story was going to be that the Clippers upset the Rockets in the first round.
I like that.
But after just repeating the standings, and remember I repeated them, the Clippers won't be in the play-in. I think they're going to stay where they are. The Rockets and the Clippers and the Warriors play the last game of the season. That game could potentially be the deciding factor in like the 6 and the 5 and 6, 4 and 5 or something like that. I don't think the Clippers fall back into the play-in. So them playing Memphis, they beat Memphis.
Facts.
Now, that puts me to the Clippers. I mean, that put me to the Lakers because the Lakers are going to win their first round series. They're not going to lose to the Clippers. Yo, you're not off.
Listen,
you're not off.
And they fast.
What scares me is the lack of experience. You know I hate that. You know I hate that, especially in a long playoff series.
And from their best player, lack of experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that coach has been to the finals. Fred VanVleet has been to the finals. Dylan Brooks has a lot of playoff basketball, a lot of important games under his belt. So at the 3, their leaders, those are the 3 leaders on the team, have been through this war. Does that make them play more free? Does Ime instill a confidence in them that is like, shit, this game's set.
Yeah, and they play with the Ime style. They play with that aggression.
Yeah, and as you spoke about matchups, shit, I like Amen Thompson on Luka.
Yeah.
I like Jalen Green on Luka and Amen Thompson on LeBron. Now, Amen Thompson a little small for LeBron.
Right.
But that boy fast.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all watched him play passing lanes, time dribbles, just the way his length. His arms are so long, he's able to get steals that you just aren't supposed to be able to get.
Right.
So, you know, because of their path, and this is why you do your work in the regular season.
Exactly.
Because of their path, I think they will beat Memphis.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you they're impossible to beat. It's impossible for them to beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
I would pick the Lakers. I would pick them in 6 or 7 out of respect for the Rockets.
Right.
Because I can't see LeBron losing 2 important games to a team that young. But at the same time, that boy is 40.
Bro.
And them young legs.
Dog, and that's what. And I thought this was going to be OKC, but like what you said, the dog I don't see in OKC.
I see it in them.
The Rockets got that dog.
I agree.
The Rockets don't got no fear. And that's part of Dylan Brooks' leadership. For better or worse, he has no fear. And Ime Udoka has no fear, and they play like that. Even with the Thompson twins, they got the more aggressive Thompson.
I forgot about Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan on Bron, Amen on Luka, Jalen on Austin.
Yeah.
Woo-wee.
Yeah.
Now, do they have enough shot making? Or can they make the game ugly enough to keep it close?
See, but this is why I think the Rockets roster, right? Like the Rockets right now, I think are a top 5-ish team.
Okay.
Depending on Jalen Green and Şengün's development, and if they can keep this core together, because we always talk about keeping the core together, this could be the best team in the league this time next year because they are built to who the Lakers big man? Jackson Hayes? Oh yeah, Şengün, yours 15 touches this game.
Yes, sir.
Like, oh yeah, Jalen Green, it could be a 1B, 1A type thing. And I think that is better than Jalen Green being the 1.
Yeah.
And I think that is where the matchup for the Lakers, it's scary because, you don't have like Braun gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you only have 2 or 3 big men.
Yeah.
And there's no supplement with that. Like it's crazy because I said I thought the Lakers could beat the Nuggets because I don't think Denver outside of Jokic is athletic enough or can score enough to make up for what's going on.
Agreed.
The Rockets are the complete opposite of that. Where it's like even if Şengün isn't going or Jalen Green isn't going, Thompson, Jabari, Fred, they get so much passive offense that they just suffocate teams out.
Jabari and Amen's rim protection in that series would be very important.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, I didn't talk about it because they're not on the same side of the bracket, but you're completely right about the Warriors. Yeah. Like, I didn't want the Warriors to get the 3 seed because I was like, I don't know if they beat the Rockets because of how just annoying they are to an old ass team.
Right.
Like, so you were right about that. It's just I don't think they'll be on the same side of the bracket. Right. But as we move on, I want to get back to OKC because I know my OKC fans, shout out to Reggie, was like, yo, why do you feel that way about
Yeah, we kind of just sped past it. No chance they go in the championship.
And I don't want to give them 0% chance. Yeah. If I have our rankings of the top 5 contenders and they're in there, the problem with them is on paper, they should be in the Western Conference Finals. Yeah. I really don't trust J-Dub. I don't. And I don't think the OKC is good enough to overcome their second / third best player not producing for 2 or 3 games.
Right.
And that genuinely scares me. Now on the flip side, some silver lining with OKC is, one, I just brought up Chet. I do think Chet can be that number 2. And 2, their defense is so good.
Facts.
J-Dub might be able to have 12 points and it be a 92-94 game with 6 minutes left in the fourth, and Shea can just take you home 2 times, and the other 2 games, everybody shows up.
Right.
This is not it's impossible for OKC to win. Yeah. This is, I'm on a podcast trying to go viral.
No. No, that's crazy. But, and I do, listen, I don't, it's not like we're picking on J-Dub, but like, listen, winning championship is really, really hard.
It's hard.
It's really hard. And that's why people, like NBA players, hold championships the way they do, because J-Dub is an amazing player, but to win a championship, he's going to need to be all nights the second to third best player on the court for them to win championships.
A championship, yes.
Especially just to get through the West, the duos you're going to have to get through. Like, and that's the thing. The first round is going to be the easiest round because half the niggas don't have a running mate. Like, if Anthony Edwards had another star next to him, they wouldn't be where they were.
Nope.
But once you get past that first round, it's like, all right, Luka, LeBron, Steph, Jimmy, Shea, J-Dub, and then the Rockets, if you want to count Şengün and Jalen Green, or just that conglomerate of people. But
it's
like,
more so a conglomerate over there.
Yeah. But, like, every time you take a step forward, the best players get better on the team.
Exactly.
And if you get through all of that, it's, okay, Tatum and Brown. Or it's Mitchell, Garland, or whoever survives what's left in the East. So, Dame Giannis. Like realistically, this is what I would ask of the OKC listeners. If you were in the finals versus Dame and Giannis, do you think J-Dub would be as good as Dame is? And if you don't, that is why we're saying what we're saying.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to the top 5 contenders we have in the West. I will start with my 5, counting down from 5, and then I'll explain why after he goes. But at number 5, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. People are sleeping on them. I see a lot of people talking about they're 6-6 over their last. Look, bro, they won 60 games before March.
Yeah,
like something. It was the second week of March, and they had clinched the 1 seed. It's you're gonna start slacking a little bit. Yeah. I'm not worried about them at all. Cleveland is at number 5. The Lakers are at number 4. Luka was just in the finals, and then now his best teammate is LeBron James.
Yeah, so with better help. Yep.
Yeah, number 3 is the Golden State Warriors. Self-explanatory. Number 2 is the Oklahoma City Thunder. And number 1 is a team that will win the championship, and we just got bored with them, so we want to talk about it. The Boston Celtics.
Okay, I like that. Okay, I'm going to go... All right, I'm going to start 5-1 just like Daniel did. I'm going to go 5. I'm going to go OKC. I think OKC still has an outside... Listen, I still think Shea's a top 3 player. I think if Chet can take a step in the playoffs, I think they could be very scary just because their defensive ceiling is tough. 4, I'm going to go Milwaukee if Dame and Giannis can lock in.
Give me some.
If Dame and Giannis can lock in on the East, and this is why I say that, because the East is so different from the West, that first series in the East, kind of a tune-up series, kind of knock the kinks out, get everybody back. I think in the East, they could have the 2 best players on the court at one time, even if the Celtics are winning. 3, I'm going to go Los Angeles Lakers. Like you just mentioned, Luka was in the finals last year with Kyrie as his teammate. He replaced Kyrie for LeBron, and that's LeBron James. Aside from that being LeBron James, that is Luka at worst, top 5 player on the planet, and a playoff riser.
Yes.
So the best basketball for this season is still to come for Luka. 2, I have Boston. I do not have Boston 1. I have Boston 2. I think Boston is living the Denver Nuggets, Milwaukee Bucks, 2020 Lakers dream of it looks inevitable. We won the first championship. It feels like we're going to do it again, and something's going to happen because sports is just too unpredictable. It's too perfect. Somebody's going to miss a shot they shouldn't, take a foul they shouldn't have. I think they're 2. And, of course, I still have those little Jason Tatum questions a little bit. Just a team. Just a little bit. 1, Golden State Warriors.
Wow.
I
thought you were about to say Cleveland.
No, it's crazy. I have Golden State 1 because Steph Curry won a championship with Andrew Wiggins. and now that Andrew Wiggins is Jimmy Butler. I think the Warriors are playing as good basketball as they have played since they won a championship, and in a league that's in a transition period right now where a lot of the best teams do not have championship experience. The Warriors are riddled with championship experience. And lastly, I'll say it because I know Daniel didn't want to say this. If Pods is good, unfortunately, it's already over. If Brandon Pajemski is going to play, and not even like the 30 he gave the Lakers, if he is 16 points a game, it's already over. And that's a take I'm going to hate to be wrong about. That is going to hurt.
It's going to hurt real bad. All right. Let me go through mine. Cavs. Yeah. I have Cavs over Bucks because Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers only. I love Giannis. Yeah, love Dame. Dame and Giannis are both playoff risers until the last 2 minutes for Giannis. Yeah. But Doc Rivers is their coach. Trust them none. So I have the Cavs in that spot. I'm down on the Cavs, not because of the end of the regular season stuff, but I do not think they can beat Boston. That's the only reason. I do not see a reality where they beat Boston, but they're at 5 out of respect for the great regular season. That's Number fair. 4, I have the Lakers. I said why. Luka, LeBron, Luka's a playoff riser. All right. Golden State Warriors are at 3. Why I'm saying the Golden State Warriors are at 3 is because I'm still a little concerned about the playoff matchups and how that plays out. But if it goes how it looks like it's going to go, and it's Denver or the Clippers in the first round, OKC in the second, OKC or Minnesota in the second, and then the Lakers or Rockets in the third, I like their chances, especially in the Western Conference Finals. There's no way they're losing. You know the history Golden State has with Houston? Yeah. They're not losing the Western Conference Finals to them. And without AD, they match up better with the Lakers. That's why they're right next to each other. If I was putting a number scale and 100 was you're going to win the championship, the Lakers would be at 89.5 and the Warriors would be at 90. It's that close for them. Right. Number 2, I have OKC out of respect for the regular season and out of respect for me thinking Shea is the second or third best player in the world right now. Fair. I have my doubts about J-Dub, but I love Chet. I'm very high on Chet, and I like the Twin Towers capability with IH. Never mind, won't say that. Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet, the Twin Tower, and then the ability to go small when your tallest person on the court is still, the tallest person is on the court is still 6'10", and the smallest person on the court is 6'5", 6'6". Right. That's your small lineup. That is incredible. Yeah. And then number 2, Ish says he thinks they're in the 2022 Celtics. The Lakers and the Lakers, Nuggets, Bucks category of winning the championship, thinking it's inevitable. The 2 things that are different about those is, 1, the Lakers got rid of all their main players, all of their key role players. The Nuggets got rid of all of their key role players. And the Bucks fired their coach next season.
And Chris Middleton got hurt. So that is what is different. They kept the core together. They have the same coach. They've been locked in all year. I see no way they aren't in the finals, and I really don't see a way they don't win the finals unless they see that boy 30. They see 30, the Warriors will win the finals. Yeah. But if they see anybody else out west, the Celtics win the finals. Let me say, if Steph beats Boston in the finals again, man.
If Steph goes Jokic, Shea, LeBron, and then Tatum and Brown at 38, look.
Tough conversation time.
I'm going to have a very uncomfortable conversation about him and Kobe. Yeah. A conversation I do not want to have. Yeah.
He's instantly in the 5 greatest players ever.
And it won't be. He's in my 5 already because fuck y'all, but undisputed at that point.
Did I have anything? Listen, I do want to say this on wax. Listen, Lou Dort, you need to be careful what you're doing. Let me say that, Lou Dort. Because, listen, you going to roll on the wrong ankle. Listen, Lou Dort, be careful. Listen, niggas like Brandon Ingram. Niggas love Steph Curry.
You feel me?
Okay?
You feel me? All right.
Watch where you land next time.
Now, who are the 5 players with the most to gain this playoff?
Okay.
Legacy's big on NBA. Yeah. At number 5, I have a duo of Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. At number 4, yes. At number 4, I have Donovan Mitchell. Okay. At number 3, I have Luka Doncic. At number 2, I have Jason Tatum. Okay. And at number 1, I have Ja Morant. Why? Number 5, Kawhi gets the injury stigma, and it's like he starts to get in that Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady with accomplishments.
Yeah.
And it's like he got injured. What happens if them 4 years his body just didn't fail him?
Yeah, that's a fact.
And then James Harden instantly becomes arguably a top 15 player if he wins the championship.
Easy.
Just especially if he's a 1B to Kawhi.
Listen,
and he got a couple 30-pointers in there.
He instantly jumps D-Wade for me.
He has to.
He instantly hot flash for me.
James Harden is so good.
Yeah.
Number 4, Donovan Mitchell. After a 65 win regular season, you beat every good team. You're the best player on the team, and you rise because for them to win. Remember, I don't know if you remember this conversation, but early this year, I said for the Cavaliers to win, Donovan Mitchell has to take a leap. He has not taken.
That's
yet.
a fact.
And I still agree with that. He's at 24 a game playing within the team this year.
Right.
But to win that playoff series. Win the championship, beat Boston, and then beat LA Warriors or the OKC, you're going to have to average around 28 to 31 points a game. Right. He goes through the playoffs averaging 30 a game, wins finals MVP on the 65-win regular season. Yeah. Might be a top 5 player.
Yeah.
Legacy defining.
Yeah.
All of that.
He changes conversation instantly.
Exactly. Luka was just in the finals. Luka changes teams mid-season, goes to the finals as the best player, goes to the finals, averages 38 and 8 in the finals, and wins. And then we get a classic series in Lakers-Celtics. He proves, because some people still doubt if he's better than Tatum or not. Yeah. You prove you're better than Jason Tatum, it ain't no question. You prove you're one of the top 2 players in the world, ain't no question. And you make Nico Harrison and the Dallas organization look like a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah, don't worry, they'll get that casino, because they'll move that team if
and
the championship.
Quiet as kept. That makes you the front runner for MVP next year. Yeah. Makes you the first runner for MVP next year. You go finals MVP next year, and then right back to the Western Conference Finals. With all of the accolades you have, we looking at a top 30 player at 26, 27.
1,000%.
Number 2, I have Jason Tatum, and that is because Jason Tatum still is a little bit disrespected. There's still a little doubt around Jason Tatum. Yeah. And a lot of people say, although he led the team in points, rebounds, and assists last year in the finals, he wasn't the best player on the team. He didn't win Finals MVP. He didn't win Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Facts.
So you go through a back-to-back champion. Yep. You're a back-to-back champion. And in the second championship, you're at what you're supposed to be, 50, 40, 90, 30 a game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, great defense. Yeah. Shut Luka down, shut Steph down, whoever it is. Yeah. Now JT is creeping up them ranks. Yeah. JT's creeping up Celtics history. Yeah. JT's creeping up all NBA history. Jason Tatum's finna be on his 5th all NBA team at 26, 27.
Which is crazy. Wow.
Jason Tatum right now is a Hall of Famer at 27.
Yeah.
Just off of the Hall of Fame goes. Yeah. He is an NBA gold medal, NBA champion.
Y'all
top 3 in MVP voting all the way.
I see y'all at Melo.
Come on, bro. It's been a week. It's been a week, bro. What the fuck?
Listen. Jason Tatum resume right now, Melo resume. I was just throwing it out there.
I think Jason Tatum's going to retire around 30,000 points. Hall of Famer, bro. And then number 1, and this will lead us to our conversation that we end with, Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Ja Morant has been through so much the past 2 years. Yeah. If he somehow
he should retire,
came out of this West and won a championship, first off, do all the gun celebrations you want. Yeah. And second off, he immediately becomes the face of the NBA again. Yeah. He immediately gets all his commercials back again. He is immediately looked at as the best point guard in the NBA. Yeah. And he immediately becomes the MVP favorite for next year, which enhances your legacy.
1,000%. I have a couple duos on mine. But ironically, my list is a little different. I'm going to go 5 to 1, just like you. 5, I'm going XGA. XGA, listen, you win the MVP. You're the best player on the best team. You win the championship. The last MVP to win the championship 10 years ago, Steph Curry in 2015. No MVP has done it since. It is very hard to do. Very few, I think 9 MVPs have done it. Won the championship the same year, but we already talked about J-Dub. We already talked about Chet. So him winning a championship instantly moves him in a different conversation as, he's one of the best players in the league now. Now he is on Hall of Fame trajectory where he's going to finish all time as one of the greatest peaks for a PG we've seen. Yep. That's where we move to. After that, I'm going to go 4 right here, go up 1. Let me lock my phone real quick. 4. This is a brand new update, Jokic. Jokic win the championship with his playing head coach and being GM. I mean, listen, this will put him past Shaq. You win if your coach gets fired mid-season. Not even mid-season. Your coach gets fired 3 games before the playoffs, and you carry through the West on this team, having to play how he's going to have to play. So much to gain. So a historic championship, it would rival Dirk's championship as the best championship ever, in my opinion. If you can do this with an interim head coach.
You're 100% right about that.
Yeah, with an interim head coach, no real substantial help. 3, I mentioned them a second earlier, but together, Dame and Giannis. Much like Harden and Kawhi, Dame monkey on his back. Dame win a championship today. Dame historical jump.
Might be top 10 all-time point guards.
Easily the best point guard easily the best player from Trailblazers history, and history gets rewritten when you win that championship. So now you are Steph's 2. Yes. Now is Westbrook Dame? Is that a real
Kyrie?
thing? Yeah, is that I think that puts him there. Giannis, listen, it's big for Giannis. 1, multiple rings, beat the one-hit wonder thing. 2, you can stay and build in Milwaukee, because I think that is what he's trying to see right now. 2. Steph, Dre, Jimmy, all 3 of them. First, I'm going to say has Jimmy been in 2 finals?
Yep.
Fucking hey. Jimmy's been in 2 finals as the second up. This is the first option. Jimmy gets to cement himself as one of the best players of this generation, and really stamp his legacy, because it can go one of 2 ways. Like, it's kind of like this was how it was with Rodman. Rodman was a head case. People thought Rodman was bad for the team. Rodman did all that stuff. Jimmy, you go to the Golden State Warriors, you win a championship, your career's over. Your career's different for the rest of your life.
Yep.
You are looked at as a winner. A player. Draymond, I think Draymond's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. If they go on to win a championship, crazy for his legacy. And, of course, we mentioned Steph. Steph wins his 5th ring. We are in top 5 conversation ever of all players. Like, that is the lowest you can get. And 1, I got to go Bron. And I mean this from the soul of my chest. LeBron win a championship with his son on the team. I don't care what he scored. And let me preface, I don't care what LeBron can twist his ankle game 1, and Luka go for 40 every game and win Finals MVP. If Bron win a championship playing 82 games with his son on the team, that is the most impressive championship ever. That is the coolest thing ever.
I don't care how many points he scored.
I don't care if Bronny is in Santa Clara on the G League the entire time. Could you imagine winning a championship ring for your son? Like, that's literally what he's gonna do. Like, that's really what it would be. Like, I just won my son a championship. God forbid they up 3-1 and he send that nigga in. God forbid they really get to it on somebody. Like it was an injury or something and they know they gonna close it out in 5. God forbid they take the court together in the NBA Finals. Like, I think Braun has the most to gain for that. And aside, and this, I'm gonna put a slash because I did duos, Braun / Nike, nigga. Like, what? I brought my son a ring. Like y'all, like Charles Barkley don't got a ring. I gave my son a ring. Like, there's no GOAT conversation, nigga. Like,
I can argue with it. I cannot argue with it. All right.
My 5.
My number 1 person was John Morant. Yeah. And me and Ish were very passionate about what has been going on with John Morant the past week and a half. So we're going to close with that and get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Please watch, subscribe, and comment. Y'all learn how to podcast. Y'all got to understand how to change tone with your voice. Yeah. Y'all understand that we serious now. Mm-hmm. So John Morant obviously has a past. I don't even want to bring that up. Yeah. He has a past. A couple weeks ago, he was playing the Warriors, and they got into a little 3-point shootout where they did the little AR 3-pointers, and they was shooting at each other. Mm-hmm. He didn't even start it. Buddy Hield started it. He did it back. And then Draymond Green shot back. Yeah. And then everybody pointed at Ja and was like, oh, my God, what is Ja doing? Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, it should have stopped right there. Yeah. They should have cut the media. They should have said, yo, stop reposting this. Yeah. Everyone in the NBA does this. Mm-hmm. Stop acting like this is news. We've seen LeBron do the holsters. We've seen Kobe do the holsters. We've seen them shoot.
Steph has one of my favorite Steph gifs is him on the sideline. Bang, bang.
Yeah, like, this is a thing they do in basketball with 3-pointers.
It's literally called shooting.
It's called shooting.
It's really called shooting in basketball. Like,
it's called shooting. That's like so fucking. It's so simple that it's complicated.
It's so simple.
But what is going on, and what I don't like, and I'm gonna get very political. I'm sorry, but There's this thing that I really hate, and it has to do with why black people really have a hard time dealing with authority and having a hard time with people telling them what to do. It's because since the time we got to this country, people have been trying to police us.
Yeah.
People have been trying to tell us what we do, what we are, what we're worth.
Right.
And it is so frustrating that they are treating Ja Morant as if he is a criminal.
Like he's a criminal.
As if Ja Morant did anything.
Yeah.
Ja Morant they said he showed his gun on Instagram Live twice.
So what?
He was 22.
Yeah.
He was 21, 22 years old. In the literal, if you go look at what had happened in Ja Morant those last 365 days, he was in the best time of his life.
Played the best hoop of his life.
Millions of dollars. He made a mistake. He made 2 mistakes. And then you have the report coming out about the shit on the bus with the kid. But nobody ever saw that.
Right.
So like it didn't happen. It's not on video.
Yeah.
So you're policing and treating Ja as if he has a criminal history, as if Ja has history with using guns for the wrong reason.
Right.
That's not true.
Not even close.
That's not true. Ja Morant shooting a 3-pointer gun after he makes a 3-pointer is harmless.
Yeah.
And the only reason we're saying it's harmful is because you guys are saying it.
Yeah.
If Ja Morant would have done that 3-point celebration and nobody in the media talked about it, guess what nobody would be talking about right now?
Celebration. Nothing.
But because y'all got on TV the next day and was like, oh my God, is Ja ever going to learn from his mistakes? What are you talking about?
Right.
And you know what really makes me mad?
What?
He's done it this year. That was not the first time he's done that.
He's done a bunch this year.
So we're nitpicking Ja Morant now, treating him like he's a criminal, and now trying to police his behavior.
Right.
Hey, Ja, stop it. I'm going to fine you. Hey, Ja, stop it. I'm going to take another $100,000 from you if you don't stop doing this celebration that is done throughout the NBA.
Yeah.
And if you want to say, well, not everybody in the NBA had the problems with the guns. Not everybody in the NBA had the troubled history that he's had. Well, Ja Morant has been back for 2 full seasons now. Maybe we can just move past it.
Yeah.
Maybe the mistake he made at 22 is not the person he is at 24 and 25.
Yeah.
And because he shoots a three-pointer gun, does not mean that he's gonna go shoot somebody in the face.
Yeah, he's never done any of that stuff.
He's never done anything for you to think he would do anything like that, but we police his behavior as if he is a criminal. Yeah. And I do not understand it. I do not like it. And I wish it would stop, which is why I'm so frustrated. Shout out Nico, episode 112. We just spoke about how we watch things and we're envious. Yeah. It was so frustrating that week of TV that Ish and I weren't blown, and weren't all the way up already, because we would have got on TV and set the record straight. And surprisingly, the only person that did was Jay Williams.
Yeah.
He was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
This is a regular celebration that happens all the time. My final message: stop trying to police young men because they don't behave how you want them to.
1,000%.
I know you're paying them a lot of money and they have a lot of deals and they are their own brand. But the second you start telling people how to celebrate, the second you start telling people what they can't do and they can do to have fun on the court on a game they worked their entire life for, that's the second you start to lose players.
Yeah.
That's the exact second. And we're already between a rock and a hard place with the NBA, with Adam Silver being looked at as kind of a bad owner, with the ratings issue, the real media, all of this is going on. And instead of choosing our time to talk about the greatness that is going on with the Western Conference Finals, Western Conference, and what is finna happen, and like Ish said, he said 22, I think this is the best playoff we finna get since 2015. When the Clippers, Warriors, and all that, we didn't know who was coming out. So arguably the best Western Conference Finals we're finna get in a decade. We arguably about to get a Lakers-Celtics Finals. Are we gonna get LeBron versus the Cleveland Cavaliers? Are we gonna get OKC and Boston rematch? Are we get to find a new face in the NBA with SGA in Boston?
Shit, the Pistons might win the title.
The Pistons went from 14 games to 44 wins. Like, it's so much to talk about. But we would choose to nitpick Ja Morant's 3-point celebration, tell him he's wrong, tell him he hasn't learned anything when there's not a gun in his hand.
Yeah,
you ain't learned nothing. There's no gun in my hand, sir. I'm shooting a 3-pointer.
Yeah, I would. I agree with everything you said. And listen, you've known me for a long time, and we hadn't spoken in person about this, but you can kind of tell, like your friends know when something bothers you, and I think because someone texted me because the way I was tweeting about it, because I only said a couple tweets about it, but like I am one of those people, and Dale knows because like you said you wanted to copy more, like. I am one of them niggas who have an opinion. Like when I say something, I don't be like throwing it out there to see if other people agree with it. No, I'm telling you what I think is true, what I think is real. And this is, of course, we did the tone change because we are a serious show up here. Like, we really do this. Like, we real journalists. Like, the first thing I immediately saw when they were policing Ja Morant was this study I read. I forget how many years ago it was, but of course, you can look it up. It's this implicit bias study where preschool teachers across the United States watch black boys in preschool more, and because they watch black boys in preschool more, they think black boys get in trouble more because they're always watching. And because they think they're getting in trouble more because they always watching, they watch them more and think they're still getting in trouble. And as a black boy who was in school who did get in trouble, my first thought was, that's exactly what's happening to Ja Morant in every step of the way. Every action that has happened since then is evidence of this being true. Because first, what you said was most important to me was, it is not new. 5 people did that celebration that night in the NBA. 5, like it was people on that court doing the same celebration, and no one had a problem with it. And just a little side note, and I'm not gonna call y'all what I want to call y'all because of course this algorithm, this is still a show, this is entertainment, but there were field slaves, and then there were slaves in the house. Word to Malcolm X. And when I see black people say, well, maybe he should just stop doing the celebration, or maybe he should just not do this, I don't think y'all understand how frustrating it is, because that is the same mentality as like, well, it's just braids. AI could take them out. Or it's just tattoos. He could just not have tattoos. Or it's just big shorts. Why do they need to have big shorts? Like, the way black culture is policed, I hate seeing black people be like, yeah, just let them do it. Just be a little different. No, like, that is a problem. Shout out Jay Williams for speaking on it, because it is a problem that Ja Morant is officiated and policed different than the rest of the NBA. First of all, there are criminals in the NBA. It is actually criminals in the NBA. And we let them play, and we don't police them different. And aside from all this, like, and of course, it is a little different because we are black. So I'm not American first. I'm black first. But I am an American. Ja Morant is an American. Ja Morant has the right to own whatever firearm he wants to own. And my problem with that is other NBA players, the white NBA players that hunt in the offseason, when you walk into those white NBA players' mansions and they have bucks and does and deer and exotic tigers animals, and zebras, animals you've never seen. Yeah, a 6'10" man with a rifle hunted that animal down, and it was no problem for him. But Ja Morant being seen with a gun was such a scary image that it has haunted him for 2-3 years, and he has hurt nobody. He has broken no laws. And aside from everything, what is so frustrating is if this were a white athlete, people would burn this country down to let y'all know how serious we take the Second Amendment. You hear none of that for Ja Morant. You don't hear the NRA or any of these groups, not to get too political, that normally would jump at, hey, that is his right to own a firearm, jumping to Ja Morant's defense. That is what is so frustrating as a black man seeing what's happening with Ja is there are just like you mentioned, Jay Williams, as the only one who's saying anything, no one's going to come to Ja's defense like they would someone else. No. And he's not in the wrong. That's what's so frustrating. And lastly, to wrap up my comparison to the preschool thing is the grenade thing, right? The grenade thing, people are like, why would he do that? It's a tantrum. He is frustrated. He is so frustrated that as one of the biggest stars in this dying social media game, like you are dying for clicks, you are redlining down in engagement. Instead of propping Ja up like they did when he first came out, you are actively targeting him for no reason. It's not enough you took $100 million from him on the Supermax. Not enough you did that for never committing a crime, never getting arrested, never hurting anybody, never doing anything outside of bounds of the law that you could prove. Still took all that from him. To spin the block and say, hey, you can't celebrate like that. Or we're going to take 80 bans from you. Like, first of all, where's the consistency? That is my thing. And for the people that are like, well, he should do this, my response to that is, if this were taken to his logical conclusion, like if he really wanted to appeal the fine, he could. And his response was, this is something that is normal in the NBA. And it's so frustrating that Ja just can't be normal.
It is so frustrating that Ja just can't be normal. It is so frustrating that we have to look at Ja, and because of this one thing, we use that to label him.
Right.
And it is so frustrating we're still doing this in 2025 as if a 22-year-old has never made a mistake in their life before.
Like yo, a 22-year-old had bad gun safety training. Surprisingly. Now what's so frustrating is when you are a black man or a young black man in Ja Morant's case, what they do is they say, well, if this happened, that's how they do.
That's not what happened.
Right. But if you're a case, Alec Baldwin, it's like, well, like, even though it actually happened to somebody, it's like, oh, well, like, it's different.
Come on.
Like, it's the way you view these actions where one life was actually taken because of bad gun safety training. He's still fine. He beat the case. Alec Baldwin. Nothing happened to him. Ja Morant. Their Instagram live cut off. Nobody was hurt. Nothing happened. And this has followed him for 3 years.
3 years. They are policing his behavior, and I do not like it. In the closing, I will just piggyback off what Ib said. If Austin Reeves, if Luka Doncic, if Chet Holmgren, if Flip Lazowski, or whatever his name is, if they get on Instagram and post their hunting rifles, or post their 22, or post their 9, no one will say anything. And if we do say something, Fox News is going to go into an uproar.
Yeah.
And the reason is, when white people have guns, it is a firearm. When black people have guns, more importantly, young black men have guns, it is looked at as a weapon.
That's a fact.
And that is the problem I have. They are looked at as two different things, and we are policing Ja Morant's behavior to a T and saying, look, you can't behave yourself, instead of saying, hey, he was doing a three-point celebration that everybody else in the NBA does. And you haven't had one problem with him since that day. There has been no problems. There hasn't been a peep from Ja Morant. But in game 72 against the regular season, in the regular season, against one of his biggest rivals since he came into this league. His rookie year, he sent him home in the play-in. The next year, they sent him home and won a championship. The biggest rival he's had since he's been in this league, they get in a little three-point shootout, and now we policing his behavior, finding him and telling him he can't behave. When we ignore the not 21 years of good behavior, we get 6 months of, I messed up, and then another 2 years of good behavior. We act as if that 6 months is who Ja Morant is, instead of the other 24 years of his life.
Right. Because of a 40-second Instagram live. Like, and it's so, the microscope these players are under right now, it's going to get to a certain point. And I'm telling you, like what you're seeing with Ja Morant acting out on the court right now, it's going to get to a certain point where, like, you should not be, and this is how I want to close it up just for everything. Like, the NBA right now, with Luka getting dejected for yelling at a fan, and, oh, LeBron got his son on the team, why would he want to play for us? The NBA is at war with their players right now. And I, for the life of me, cannot understand it. Adam Silver, listen, please, however this gets to you, really sit back and look around you and ask yourself, why is the NBA the only league at war with their players? The NFL, at worst, the NFL been to war with one nigga, Colin Kaepernick. The rest of them niggas, they have never gone to war with anybody. The closest they got was Tom Brady, and they just let it slide. And he still took the suspension. Like, the NFL doesn't go to war with their players. You don't see the NFL, like okay, they just outlawed CeeDee Lamb celebration in the offseason. They changed the rules, as you should do as a league. Like, if you want to change the rules, can't nobody do that. That's cool. They didn't fine CeeDee Lamb $70,000 for doing a celebration he did 1 week before. because it doesn't make sense. The NBA is actively at war with their players and wondering why fans do not feel connected to their league. If I was a Ja Morant fan, why would I watch the Grizzlies game after the last 3 days? Like, Ja Morant's been playing great. They changed the team around, new coach, whatever, da-da-da. We're getting ready for the playoffs. Like, y'all are, like, he's at the game not having fun. He don't want to be there. Why am I watching the game? I want to see Luka. I saved up all this money. Listen, Luka on the Lakers with LeBron, them tickets $700. Y'all ejected Luka for yelling at a fan? What? Why is the NBA at war with their players? It is not just the NBA. It's the NBA media. It's the people broadcasting games. It's them niggas on Twitter ran by them Patels, clipping it like, Ja Morant, gun bars, ha, 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 he can't do this. And niggas in the replies eating it up like, ooh, Ja Morant, you shouldn't have done that. Like, everything about the NBA right now is at war with their players, and I do not understand how long-term that's going to work.
All right. All right. Excellent point. This has been episode 113.
I got you. Listen, this has been episode 113. I'm Ish. That's D-Roll. Okay. Like, comment, subscribe. You can love us. You can hate us. I just hope you pay us.
Hello.
Pause for the thumbnail.